I'm CEO, and my mission here is to influence, entertain, educate, and inspire you with audacious confidence so you can live more, do more, have more, and live the life that you desire to have. What my plan is for the show to always bring you guests, always bring you someone that can help you in some area of your life. Break free and live your life without limits or restrictions and be bold, daring, and audacious. Right now, I would love for you to connect with me on any social media platform, whether it is Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You can go to at the Alicia Khoury, at the Alicia Khoury, and just connect with me. Send me a friend request, and I will connect with you on any of those social media platforms, including here on Facebook. My guest today, we're going to talk about overcoming trauma or overcoming something that has happened to you, and how do you move forward from something very traumatic, from a traumatic situation. So if you know anyone that has lost their confidence or is going through anything because of a traumatic situation, please invite them, tag them in the comments, and invite them to watch this broadcast. I just think that this is going to be a really phenomenal show. So say hi, say hello. Hello, Nicole. Say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hey, Maddie. Thank you for joining us. I can't wait to get my guest out here either. But say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you would also like to be a guest on one of our shows, please go to germaniac.com/guest. It's cold. It's cold in Detroit. I bet it is. Oh my gosh, stay warm. Please stay warm, stay warm. So today is a pretty neat topic because it is a heavy topic, but we're not going to just sugarcoat or gloss over some things. We're going to talk about some deep things, and we're going to give you some really great techniques on how you can overcome some things that can sometimes really knock you down. And so I hope you stick with us. I hope you stick around for my guests to come on. But for right now, I am going to just give my perspective, because here on Audacious Confidence, I like to share where I came from and certain things that I've been through. And then I'll bring my guests on and I get to share with them their point of view. And so I want to be able to help you in multiple ways. So if what I say doesn't help you, the guest that comes on can probably help you, or maybe on another show, it can also help you to gain more confidence. So, hey, I see a familiar face watching over there in the little corner there. Hey, Cassie. I hope you can figure out how to say hi. Just write a comment right where it says right. So what I want to talk to you today is about the drama triangle. If you've never heard of the drama triangle, well, I'm going to break it down for you right now because it is so phenomenal. VVIP viewer. Yes, Miss Cassie. Thank you, producer. My producer is on the show there, making sure that the crawler, putting in all the little comments for me so that, so if you read the crawler down there, that's my wonderful, amazing number 4 producer, Sebastian One. I just want to introduce, because I want to introduce my guest. I want to introduce my guest for us here today. And her name is Eleni Anastos. She is a great friend of mine. Eleni Anastos is the CEO and founder of Business Insights Now and specializes in uncovering money blocks to help business owners and individuals grow and learn in ways they never thought possible in life and in business. She believes making connections and cultivating relationships is what matters most, including your relationship with money. You think this is a money talk tonight, but it's not. This is just what she does. And so she's found out that how you do money is how you do everything, and uncovering your blocks significantly impacts all areas of your life, both personal and professional. And she draws from her background experience in business development, training and assessment, personal development, and education to build tailored programs which will get her clients the results they need. And you know what? Eleni was also a teacher. She was in education for 30 years. 30 years she was in education. Talk about some drama when you're in the school system. That's some drama. And so Eleni has a very powerful story that I want to share with you about that she can easily have been a victim. She could easily have blamed other people, and she didn't. So I want to welcome to the show right now Miss Eleni Anastos, a very good friend of mine. Please come on out. We're having a little delay issue. So let me know if the information about the drama triangle was helpful to you. Let me know if you got any value out of that, if you saw any things that maybe you need to change. Or yes, Eleni is amazing. She's one of your educators. Oh, wonderful, Nicole. She is so fabulous. Here she is, Eleni Anastos. There you go.
Hello. It's so good to be here with you and all the wonderful people listening and watching.
Yes, welcome. So I know you deal a lot in your coaching right now with money and money blocks, but it took you some time to get there. So we're going to rewind a little bit before we get to where you are now. And so we're going back. You were an educator for 30 years. So
Yes.
what happened that had such a profound impact in your life that you're no longer in education?
Well, it was several years ago. I was teaching high school at the time, and my life as I knew it changed in one afternoon.
Wow.
It was during a school-wide assembly in the gym, and it was during Spirit Week. Some people call that homecoming, and lots of activity. Everybody's all amped up, lots of energy. And I was standing in front of the bleachers where the seniors sit, and they came flying out of the bleachers, and I got knocked down almost like a wave, trampled, and they didn't keep moving. Several of them circled around me, and I was getting violently kicked in the head, the back, the neck. I was begging and screaming for my life. And I really thought this could be my last day on earth. And just even having that feeling of this could happen at any moment, in an instant, your life does change. I was in the hospital. I sustained serious physical injuries. I was in constant pain.
Wow.
And then developed severe PTSD and situational depression. I could not work. I couldn't even open up the blinds in my house because I was too afraid that there might be somebody standing on the other side.
Wow. So you were in victim mode. You were deeply in trauma.
It was almost like a paralysis. I mean, I'm home in shock thinking, did this really happen? Because I'm such a dedicated educator. I was a class sponsor. I would chaperone things. I would attend the athletic events. In that school, I was their current teacher of the year. And so to think that something like that could actually happen, it was mind blowing. I could not believe it. And just the pain, the anguish.
I can't even imagine. Sebastian is saying he's been there. No, I know what you mean. It is not a good place to be. You feel, why me? And I am really experiencing this. And am I really experiencing this? And you keep reliving it, correct?
Yes.
You keep reliving the situation over and over again.
Yeah.
And the pain, and it's vivid.
Well, I'm at home in a neck brace, and I'm focusing on the physical pain and how unfair it all was. And, that just made me even more angry, more frustrated, more depressed. And it was like a paralysis. I just couldn't move forward, and getting so focused on that. And I thought, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? And the whole situation seeming so unfair, I knew that I was stuck, and I knew I wanted help, but I couldn't get any, because it is my belief that the district staged a cover up. They said the event never happened and I got cut off financially.
Wow. So not only are you physically hurt, but now you're financially hurt. So
Yes.
you just keep going down, spiraling down
Yes.
into further depression, further this hole.
Yes. Yes. And it was a vicious cycle, that cycle of negativity, as you were referencing earlier. And I had no money coming in from the district. I was able to live off of my savings for several months. But when that ran out, I thought, what the hell am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, how do I put gas in the car? How am I going to put food on the table? And I realized it was, again, that vicious cycle. I'm going over and over and over again. I'm not going to go anywhere.
Right.
And I, projecting forward, thinking, this can't be the rest of my life. This cannot be the rest of my life.
It's like, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. Yeah. So when did you realize that you were stuck in it? How did that happen?
It was almost like an epiphany, kind of like Groundhog's Day, the exact same feelings, the exact same scenario over and over again. I thought, wait a minute, to me, we're either growing and moving forward or we're dying.
Yes.
And I thought in that moment, if I don't do something to go forward, I'm dying. And I knew it was my beliefs that I had about the situation, believing it was so unfair, believing it was unjust. And it's not about whether that's true or not, but those beliefs were so limiting. They were like anchors holding me back.
Right. So you had to change your beliefs.
Yes. Yes.
And that's not an easy thing to do because you first have to recognize it.
Yes.
Yeah. You first have to recognize it.
Yes. And when I realized that it was the beliefs I had about it that I was focusing on, because our beliefs create our thoughts lead to our actions.
Right.
And when you're too busy being angry and hurt, you can't be productive. You can't be proactive.
No, you can't. You really can't. And so once you recognize that wait a minute, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck here because I am the one making me stuck here.
Yes.
I have a choice in this. I don't have to be here anymore. Yes. So what happened, or what did you do to start the wheel turning in the opposite direction? Because a lot of people, they have no idea how to actually, once they've recognized, now what do I do? Because that belief keeps bringing them back in. Yes. It keeps pulling it back in. So how do you pull away from that?
Well, just the awareness of knowing that it was the beliefs that were holding me down and basically dragging me backwards. I thought I need to get rid of those and install empowering beliefs. So, the teacher in me, I got very structured and organized. And I did, I think I would say 3 main things. And, the first one was simply choosing beliefs that would empower me and represent the me and the life that I wanted to have going forward. Not where I was, I was trying to make decisions from where I wanted to be.
Yes. Right. And I just saw a comment from Sam. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but she said that you were one of his most influential teachers. And thank you so much. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for that comment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. So you, number one, you started looking at where you wanted to be.
Yes.
And started looking forward instead of where you are right now.
Really believing that my life was going to turn around. But I think it's really important to know, I didn't know when or how. And I didn't focus on that, because if you have to know exactly when or how, this hasn't happened yet, you get stuck again. Yes. But I also didn't focus on what I call those cursed whys. Like, why did this happen to me?
Why me? Because that's victim. That's a victim mode. Why me? Why did they choose me to do this too? And because you just pulls you right back in again to that victim mode. So
you can't have growth when you're a victim.
You cannot grow when you're a victim. So you said you became very structured. So what does that mean? What did that look like?
Well, when I literally every day, I had written out, okay, this is what I want my life to look like. And again, I believed that I would turn everything around. But before I could really get into accepting that, I knew I had to, what I call, get the gift out of the situation. And I'm sure people can feel like, what possible gift can there be, in trauma? And I knew that I had to learn something. I was always an educator. And I learned some things about the people in my life in that system that were painful, but I chose to see it as a gift because it gave me more awareness. And then I could choose not to give it any more power.
That is so powerful right there. So it's always important. Let me see what Nicole is saying. We will always ask why. That's how we figure out how to get where we want to be. We ask why and accept. It's hard, but it's a different why that you're asking. It's a very different why. When you ask why me, that's victim. But when you ask, why did this situation happen and how can I learn, what lesson is there in it? How can I learn from it? That's a whole different why question that you're asking. Yes. And so, yes. Napoleon Hill says there's a sly disguise of opportunity. I think I said it on the show this morning, sly disguise of opportunity. So what is the opportunity in this? What can I learn from this? And how do I move forward from this? So what was the next thing?
That helped me keep going forward because I also believed that I would be healthy and I would have my body back and be pain-free. I believed that I would have my own business and be able to support myself again. Yeah. So I was getting very, concrete with each area of my life and what I wanted it to look like. But I didn't just make notes. I had to own it. You got to claim it. Yeah. I'm walking around out loud going, I am healthy. I am healed. I am whole. I have more than enough money to pay my bills. You've really got to.
It cannot be, it can't just be lip service. It can't just be a mantra or an affirmation. No. You have to let it really sink in. Last week, I had a guest, Deborah Bringleton, and we talked about quantum, using quantum physics to make quantum leaps. And she talked about the difference between emotion, which is in your head, and the feelings, which is in your body. And you have to feel that. You can't just say it. You have to feel it with every fiber of your being, that this is how it is going to be. And it's not just you say it, and in your head, you're like, well, I don't know how it's going to happen. Well, maybe it'll happen. You can't have that battle between what's going on in your head, what's going on in your heart, and what you're saying out of your mouth. There needs to be that synergy, that there needs to be agreement in all those areas before that belief can become concrete. And so then you started making those declarations, changing your beliefs, changing finding the gift in the situation. Because that's how you can move forward. When you find the gift, then it's no longer not only a trauma and it still hurt, but then you're able to see, there was a reason for this. And so now I've learned that lesson. Now I can move forward. And so that was the beginning to help turn your life around. What else did you do?
I literally acted as if. Because to me, it was a part of the whole embodiment. I didn't have a job, but I set an alarm. I got up, I got dressed every day. I acted as if my life had turned around. Now, I still had no money coming in, but I would attend free events to socialize and talk about how I enjoy helping people. Or I would talk about my business, not necessarily in the future tense, but about how I wanted to help people and make a difference in their lives. I would even
tell into action.
Yeah, I would even tell my friends and neighbors, I'm feeling stronger every day. And it is we talk about, gratitude all the time. And I know you're that way. And I know Sebastian is that without gratitude in our life, I don't believe that we can really go as far as we want to going forward. But I also believe we can have gratitude for what hasn't physically manifested itself yet.
I agree, Maddie. Eleni is amazing. So amazing. And so what started showing up in your life?
Well, when I got out of that victim mode and was picking myself up every day, little opportunities did start coming in.
Yep.
And I was hired by a catering company, I was waiting tables. I had a lot of little odd jobs that were offered to me. And one thing I was thinking of when I was reflecting back on that experience, I've worked with people that have been through a lot of trauma, but they stay stuck in that. They feel like it's a step backwards if they do something that's not at the level professionally of where they were at. I had one of my clients who had an MBA and said, I can't take a job less than 6 figures. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I said, sweetheart, I have a master's degree. I graduated at the top of my class and I scrubbed toilets. I waited tables. But the difference was I did it like it was the best job in the world because I had so much gratitude for being able to bring money back into my life.
That's awesome. That's a big tip. That's a big tip right there. You started doing little things to start turning your life around, bringing money back into your life. And also something very important, we talked about gratitude. You started to be grateful for those opportunities in your life instead of being negative, like, gosh, I was this and I was that, and now I have to go scrub toilets and so bringing that gratitude back in helped increase your life, helped restore a lot of things for you, and helped you to let go. So how did you actually just let go of that situation? Did you have charges? What did you do?
The day that I knew I had to let go to go on, it definitely wasn't about win or lose. I will share that I did try fighting legally, if you will, for a long time, almost 2 years. And I'm a very physically healthy person, natural person. I believe in holistic, types of things. And I'll never forget the moment I was sitting in a courtroom with the judge and a state's attorney, and they said, we believe you. You're a very credible witness. And I said, well, it's easy to be credible when you just speak the truth.
Yeah.
But all I was trying to do was get some health insurance back so I could get proper therapy
treatment
for my neck. And they said, we are denying your claim because you've gone against medical advice.
Oh.
To them, going against medical advice was, I refused to take the heavy psychotropic drugs that the doctors were prescribing.
Oh, that's strange.
So
that's weird. Yeah.
Well, it happens a lot. If an MD says this is what you should do, that's what's going to hold up in a court of law, not an adult deciding what does or does not go into their body.
Right.
And literally at that moment, it was like waving the white flag. I thought,
my goodness,
putting energy into this.
Yeah.
And gotta let go to go on.
And so, seeking legal advice or trying to solve it legally is not wrong, and it's not something that you're on the drama triangle with it. But when it starts sucking the life out of you to do it, you have to now evaluate whether or not it's worth it for you, and if it's continuing to be healthy for you, or if it's now keeping you in that toxic space and environment. So, we're not saying don't seek legal advice or don't, you need to, you can do that, but just make sure that your motives and the way you're operating is healthy for you, and it's not out of anger or bitterness or revenge or any of those toxic kind of emotions that you're acting on. You have to really make sure you ask yourself, what is my purpose for doing this? And what is the result that I'm seeking to have? Because if it's to feel better, you'll never feel better.
And be very careful who you seek advice or guidance from. Because I had countless people say, you can't let them get away with it. You need to go keep fighting. You need to hire a different attorney. And it said, it's not. And one person said, you let them win. And I said, I'm not looking at it as win or lose. That's not what it's about.
Your mindset had shifted.
Yes. I'm like, I'm letting go to get my life back.
Yeah. And Nicole just said, I know the comments are flashing by, but Nicole said, that's crazy. I mean, what would your life be like if you ended up hooked on opioids for pain? And that happens so many times. We have such an epidemic of opioid addiction in this country because they're just prescribing these things and not giving people the choice like you took. You took that choice to do. And then we had another comment that popped up. Sorry, I didn't get to see it. Oh, Nicole also said you took a stand and got blasted for it. And so, but the thing is, Nicole too, she has to see what result was I seeking. She was seeking medical insurance. Just help me pay for my my injuries. That's all. You weren't seeking like $1 million in restitution and pain and suffering. You weren't like going after the jugular. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to let this go.
Yeah.
And let God deal with it. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. And so the other thing to gratitude is forgiveness.
Yes.
Forgiveness is huge when you're able to walk in that forgiveness. And it's not saying that they got away with it, or which is probably what your friends were saying. Oh, you're letting them get away with it. No, the forgiveness was for you. Forgiveness is for us so that we can move forward without bitterness or anger or
set ourselves free.
Set you free. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that you are free indeed. And so what message do you have that you want to share with our viewers about, rebuilding your confidence after something like that has taken place in your life? A physical trauma, not just an emotional, but it was emotional and physical.
Right. I really want people to believe, those of you that have been through something that has turned your life upside down on a dime, and you're wondering, now what? What's next? What am I going to do? Where do I go from here? I really want you to believe that you can turn it around, that your next chapter can still be one of your best, because you are the author.
The creator. That's what in the drama triangle. You're the creator. You're not the victim. You can create the next chapter of your life. You have that choice.
Right. And releasing or forgiving. I actually came across someone a few days ago that had a very hard time with the word forgiveness. And I said that, can you just release, the anger and the hostility? Because once you release it, if I didn't release it and I stayed up there fighting, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't be blessed to be able to share the story and hopefully inspire someone to pick themselves back up.
Right.
Knocked down. And, especially knowing it can happen at any age. This happened to me in my early 50s. Right. I'm 59 now. And in so many ways, I'm just getting started. And
yes, you still have your life, and now you have your health back. And so, what's stopping you? I can make money. It's like I can make money again. They didn't take that from me. I still have the ability to make money. Yes. So I love that. And this is why I wanted you as a guest on the show. I really wanted you as a guest on the show because I wanted people to know that you can still regain your confidence, because you are out there, sister. You are out there, I see you. That's how we met, actually. We going to a lot of events together. Yes. And so we go to a lot of events together, and you rebuilt your confidence so you can stand up in a room full of people and not feel fear or anger. You can be in a crowd. And so confidence affects every area of your life.
And one thing, if I can share one more comment, the first time I spoke about my story publicly, a woman came up to me afterwards and she took my hand and said, "Oh my God, I just don't understand." I said, "What don't you understand, dear?" She said, "You were horribly victimized." I said, "Well, you understand that perfectly." And then she said, "But nothing about you says victim." I said, "You understand that perfectly too, because that's my choice."
Yes. And that's your belief. And so we all have that choice. All have that choice.
Yes.
So, Eleni.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a little day. So taking a little bit of time to bring us all back together. And if you have any questions for Eleni, please, please, please share any questions that you have, because we're going to move forward now into what she is doing now with her life.
Yes.
So, Eleni, I wanted to ask you, because I wanted to ask you, what is your business and how did that begin?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. I currently work with entrepreneurs, actually any individuals that are just really.
I don't
really
hear her.
Oh, can you hear me?
I'm waiting to see if I see or hear her.
Can you hear me? I'll keep going.
Okay.
I would like to share with everybody that it's not just entrepreneurs that I work with, but anybody that has an issue or is stuck around money, because money impacts all of us. It's a part of our day-to-day existence. And I don't want people to feel controlled about money. You know, if you think about how many decisions do you make on a daily basis based on the amount of money that you have or you don't have? And I'm not saying people have to make $500,000 or $5,000. The amount doesn't matter. I just want people to feel that they control the money doesn't control them. And it doesn't matter whether you're an entrepreneur, you could be a homemaker, you could be a corporate executive. It impacts all of us. So I want people to live a more empowered life.
All right. Very good. Yes. So that's how you came into doing what you're doing. And so you coach people one-on-one. How does that all work for you?
Yes, I love doing the one-on-one coaching, because we go deep, and it isn't just money, but it impacts everything. So helping them grow their business, helping them create their signature systems, that magical thing they do that they probably often take
secret sauce,
right?
A little secret sauce.
People get results. And I also work with people in small groups, and I love it, love it, love it. Because when you see people that, have that idea, have that thought that I really think I can do this, but then you start listening to other people, oh, that won't work. That business won't work. You can't change careers now. You're too old. No. So be careful who you share your dreams with, because your yes to your dream has to be a hell of a lot bigger than their no.
Right, absolutely. So back to the confidence piece. Yes. I missed some of what you said earlier, but what gave you the confidence to actually step out and say that I'm going to coach people, that I'm going to help them with their blocks? What was that thing that you felt that you could do?
I actually, while I was still teaching, I was also working with small to medium business owners and helping them get money when the bank said no. So I already developed an affinity working with entrepreneurs and small business owners. And after the school assault, and I moved to Florida, I tell you this, I was in a car accident my first week down here. Rear-ended at a red light. And I'm like, all right, universe, somebody explain this to me. And ironically, I ended up being hired by the chiropractor who I was sent to get my body back on straight. And I was so, again, grateful. It was a $12 an hour job. I was grateful because that meant I could go buy food and stop my car from being repossessed.
Oh, nice.
But I also started to look forward, thinking a year from now, 5 years from now, do you want to be doing this? I'm like, oh, no. So I reflected back on what I really enjoy. I knew I wasn't going to go back to traditional teaching, but I was reflecting back on what I really enjoyed when I was helping those entrepreneurs and business owners get the money they needed. And I always loved helping them holistically, helping them with personal issues, helping them, with their marketing, with their strategy. And I thought, well, you enjoyed that part. Why not just go back to that And that's
Excellent.
what it all started.
That's excellent, because we all have a gift. We all have something about us that is very special. And so you were able to recognize that and then use it to build a business, a thriving business from
Yes.
it. And that's awesome. And so the lesson and the gift in it, it helped push you and propel you into a whole different avenue in your life that you never would have if this didn't happen.
Absolutely.
You would have stayed with it and then retired like everyone else, and then thought, well, now what do I do with my life?
Yes.
But you had something that pushed you into doing what you love doing right now. And even though you love teaching, clearly your students love to be taught by you. We had so many of them comment today. You were definitely a credit to your profession, and you probably take that same energy, that same excitement, that same insight into the coaching that you're doing now. And I know you have tremendous results with your clients. I want to thank you so much, Eleni, for coming on our show today. I love to go deep and dig deep with people, and I know we only have a few minutes together, but thank you for being open and honest and sharing this story with our audience. I always want to give others something to think about, and not just continue living their life the way they're living, but really think about what you're doing and bring awareness. So in closing, are there any other closing tips that you want to share with our audience?
Well, if anybody would like to, to hear about the structure of how to install those empowering beliefs and how to, kind of flip that switch, please reach out. But first and foremost, just pay attention to what you're thinking. You can get yourself off of that hamster wheel.
Yeah, you can. And so 2 things I want to say before we close is, if you want to know more about Eleni, you can go to our website, dramaniac.com/Eleni. She's been on several of our shows, and she's talked about money. She's done the money talk. We've talked about a lot of different topics with Eleni. So go to dramaniac.com/Eleni. You can contact her there. She is an ambassador for Dramaniac TV. So you can find her contact information there, and you can get in touch with her through our Dramaniac page. You can always reach out to me, tv@dramaniac.com, if you want to have your own show here on Dramaniac. If you want to be a guest, you can go to dramaniac.com/guest. But I love doing these interviews with people and being able to show others that there is another side.
Yes.
There is definitely another side to things. It's just in the way you're thinking and looking at it, and you can flip things around, and it takes some time sometimes.
Absolutely.
But give yourself grace, give yourself permission, love yourself through it, and be patient with yourself, and you can find happiness and joy and fulfillment even after something as traumatic and as tragic as being attacked physically, emotionally, financially. You had the trifecta. Girl, you had the trifecta, and you came out on the other side happier and healthier and more successful. And so more power to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. I love you, Eleni. And thank you for stepping in today. All right.
My honor.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's another episode of Audacious Confidence here with me, Alicia Curry. Please connect with me on any social media platform. You can find me at the Alicia Curry on any social media platform. You can also go to my website. It's aliciacurry.com. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and also tag a friend if you think they needed to hear this episode of Audacious Confidence. I love you all. I wish you all success, and to live your life with Audacious Confidence, because here at Dramaniac TV, we allow you to dream big and we make it happen. Have a great evening, everybody. Until next time, mwah! Love you. Bye-bye. Hi, Alicia Curry here. If you enjoyed that episode of the Audacious Confidence Show, check out more on this channel. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. And if you hit that notification button, you won't miss a single episode.